Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining. And yes, I hope that you've all had a good day. Yesterday, for those that are on, I know that I certainly know in Italy, there's been a real big uprising in the number of deaths. So I really want to be mindful of really what our job is here, our job towards ourselves, to our communities and our jobs as healers within the world. Okay, so for me, I'm very clear about what it is, why I'm here, and part of that is to clear the debris that's in our body, so that we make our body inhospitable to a virus. We need to be really, really clear here. Some of the things that is so important is that viruses frequent on a very low frequency energy level. And when our body is resonating at that energetic level, a virus can get in. Right, so if we think about babies who normally have quite a high energy throughout their body, hi Carla, nice to see you. Bodies have a very high energetic level. They haven't got a lot of stuff that is thinking, so they're not going to be bothered by that kind of stuff, which is that stress kind of way of being. But what they do have is an energy that is very pure, very bright, and generally they only eat from their mother. So they are getting something that's pure, and they've evolved for that. But as we moved into the world, as we grew up, we started to accumulate. Yeah. And depending where we live in the world, we accumulate in many different ways. We accumulate in our culture with the thoughts and the beliefs and all of that that's carried from that. We also have the food that we eat, the kinds of foods. If food is not as natural as you see in real life, rather than when we buy it in the supermarkets, then the food itself has been processed. So that in itself is going to be pretty dead. Yeah, pretty dead. So the less the food is noticed in what it is grown in, the more dead the food is. And that means the more the food is going to cause more of a density within us. So that's food. But then there's also, as I said, there was the mental, there's the food, but there's the environment. You know, what kind of environment we're living in. Are we spending a lot of time putting a lot of chemicals into our body? So these are the things that we need to think about, and also think about the idea that in the coronavirus, soap gets rid of most of it, and soap is less detrimental to the environment than all the other things, the chemicals and poisons we're using. So be mindful. Let's use things that actually work and are less environmentally harmful, as well as environmentally harmful to our inner environment. All right. I'm just, in my mind, I'm just seeing thousands and thousands and thousands of people using plastic. And we're saying, yeah, okay, but what are we doing to the environment? So please just be very mindful. Wash your hands rather. Yeah, because at least that way you are doing less damage in the long run. Of course, if you're working in places where you're actually in contact, then yes, absolutely, it's important that you take those kinds of precautions. But the most important thing is wash your hands, don't touch your eyes. Don't touch your eyes, because the eyes are the one place where it doesn't go via a digestive system, and so it can't get killed because acid kills it. All right, so just be really mindful of those things. And for a moment, I just want to think about all those people that have died, and you know, they've lived their life, they're in the space, and it was a bit premature for them. So just to acknowledge that, and the sadness that everybody is feeling, and that overwhelm as well. So, but on saying that, it is also about creating the space that we can do work, where we can clear things. And when we clear energetically, what I've said to you is that we are connected. We are connected deeply to each other on the very basic level, on the most lowest common denominator. We're all atoms, cations, anions. We're all elements. Yeah. We're made up of components of elements, and it's these elements that we are in common with. Okay, that's where there's no separation. Excuse me, I'm going to scratch my hands are clean. No separation. It's when we look at people in the energy at which they're stored, we have this perception that we are individual. We are not. Energetically, we are not separate. So that means that whatever frequency we resonate at and we empower and we spread out will affect the world. It will have an effect. Yeah. So we just need to keep raising that energy, keep clearing. And as Lynn McTaggart, who's the person that says the power of 8, the more people that focus on doing a similar thing. So if you focused on just one person regularly and 8 of you all focused on that, you will maximize the effect. You will maximize the effect. So this is a really cool way to be doing that kind of experiment. So for 10 minutes, just really focusing in on an area which is in trouble. All right. So if you've got friends, if you've got people that you know in your area, try and get them together so that you do this together for one specific area, because this is what it's been shown, that the more we focus on one, the more we get a shift. All right. So let's start. All right. So you can do EFT, this kind of meditation for good and bad feelings. Just remember that. What you want to do is rate the feeling. So if you're doing it for a good feeling, you want to know where the level at where you are between a scale of 0 to 10, and that would be noticing, well, yeah, I'm kind of neutral, and 10 would be super happy, super joyous, super whatever. Where are you on that scale? And we'd be looking at how you could make that more. Yeah, in general, when we and so that means that we may not be in the state of the hyper excitement, but we would be in the state of calm, cool, collected, and yet sublimely happy. The other state, of course, is the not so helpful state, the panic, the disorder, the worry, the chaos, the depression, all of those things. They're all just names of symptoms, yeah, sensations that we experience, which we've coded, and that's our biggest problem. We code information, yeah? So what we want to do is unlock the code. Unlock the code. All right. So right now, just get a rating if you're doing an unhelpful feeling. So you want to look at this rating of a 0 to 10. So 0 is neutral. 10 is basically very stressed in whatever way it is. So see where you are on this scale. All right. So I go through this every morning, because anyone that's new here, you may not know EFT, but you need to do your rating. And sometimes I forget to ask about the rating at the end, but it's important to know, because when you start working downwards, if you are a person that gets depressed, then you probably will have to do this regularly, and you might see it come down incrementally. It may not come down as quickly, but you will start to find that as that comes down, your happiness scale goes up. So it's just useful information to notice. All right. So, okay, the next thing is to find out that feeling, the embodied feeling that we experience, because we only act because of a feeling. Yeah. The feeling is our most primitive aspect of ourselves that allows us to keep our body safe. So it is an embodied feeling that we then act on, and invariably then we make a decision on that. So our brain comes in second. That's how evolution did it for us. First be safe before you think about the situation. Yeah. But as we developed as cognitive beings, what happened as we developed another part of the system that allowed us to move towards things, allowed us to connect, to join, to be more. And those systems are part of the systems which were actually myelinated. They were part of the nerve structure that was myelinated, which meant that we could get really good at getting fast at it. And we were able to make connections. So myelinated means that the nerve is covered by a sheath, a fatty sheath, and the nerve can actually jump, going much, much, much faster. If a nerve doesn't have this, that nerve actually works slower, which is interesting, isn't it? So, yeah, so that part of that nerve actually also has at the endpoints oxytocin. And oxytocin is what a mother releases when she breastfeeds a baby, or when we cuddle people, or when we have a nice feeling about a person. Oxytocin gives us a really good feel-good factor. So these, when we smile, one of the really good things, which is, oh no, I've got lipstick on, but when we smile, we actually activate the facial nerve. So the eye, here's the eye and the ear. So we've got the face all the way. Every time we smile, we actually smile with the whole of our face, yes? When we kind of a false smile, then we don't smile with our eyes. And actually the interesting thing is that's where all these connections are. So one of the things, if you really, really, really fancy, is if you're feeling a little bit not so okay, put that in your mouth, something like a pen or something not too dirty, and just watch a movie, watch things, or just even just notice as you go through the day. If you can keep that in there for 5 or 10 minutes, you'll notice your mood will change automatically, just because you release these chemicals. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? Okay, so I can see the sun is coming up, but my curtains are playing up, so I don't know whether I should move forward or back. Oh, there we are. Let's do that. All right, so let's go. So get that sense of that feeling. Notice which one, good or bad. Just notice where it is, where it's located. And I've got a kind of a sensation over here. I think it's probably because I woke up really very early this morning and I was thinking straight away. So I see kind of sensation. I also got it down here now that I'm focusing. And yeah, it looks a bit like a bow. Yeah. So, and what color is it? Oh, it's blue. All right. So that's what you do. All right. So try and see if you can get where it is located in your body. So I'm going to just touch it for a second. I know where it is, the shape. And maybe if you like, you can see, maybe you know what it is. Maybe you have an idea what it's all about. That's fine. If you don't, that's okay. Or you can at the same time make sure that you have a sense of its texture. Yeah. So if you could feel it, try and see if you can describe it as much as you can, because what we want to do is move towards the feeling. We want to understand it. Okay. Right. Let's go. So quickly the points that I'm going to be doing is tapping top of the eyes, side of the eyes, under the eyes, nose, chin. We're going to tap over here on the sides of the clavicles, chest, and you can do that. It doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong. Under the arms and on the head. Now, I can vary those. It doesn't matter. If you find you get kind of lost, you go into your little space. Don't worry. Just keep tapping. Just keep tapping, because the tapping is what interrupts the pattern. It's like a mother holds her baby. Yeah. One of the things is that the drum effect creates a resonance. It resonates with the heartbeat and it allows the baby to relax. So it allows the baby to know it's there and reminds it of what it was like in the uterus. And it gets a sense of safety, because that's in that moment they were completely safe, right? And that there was no lack, ever. So that's the interesting thing. When we tap, it takes us back to that place of no lack. Yeah. And when we're scared, we separate, we then we constrict, we feel the pain, we feel whatever, and then we have a moment, and then we look and we see we're separate. Okay, we feel the separation, we feel the lack of not having, and then we attack. So it's really important that we understand that if we can take you back in time to that space, physically embodying in this way, we're taking you back to the time of no lack. And when we are in that moment of no lack, we get potentiality. All right, we get potentiality. And that actually activates a lot of our new stem cells. We have progenitor cells there, and that's where we were in our highest form of activation. So we need to get back to that. All right, so we always start on the sides, and tapping on the sides, and sometimes we'll come back to that during the session, doesn't matter. There's no things. You can tap like that. I like doing them all sorts of ways. So the most important thing, if you do this later, and if you do this at any time during the day, if something's coming up for you, just always put a truth, what it is. Always acknowledge what's going on for you. And then the next statement is always got to be about you. What you choose about you. What you choose about you. Yeah? It may or may not be true, but it's what you choose or you want to choose about you. All right, so I'm just going to start. You can get the sense of idea. So the first one, well, what's real? At the moment, I've got the sensation in the top of my head, over my eyes, and it looks like a bow, and it's blue, and it's a little uncomfortable. So on a rating, I'm rating it at about a 3. This is the second part. I choose to love myself anyway. All right. And even though I have this feeling, and it's a bit bothersome, in fact, it's cheesing me off a little bit, and I don't know whether it'll go away. It might not. I choose to love myself anyway. And even though there are these feelings, and there's a world outside, and I'm worried about, and I don't know what I can really do or if it works, it may not. I choose to love myself and accept myself anyway. Okay, let's work. Okay, so these feelings, you can repeat after me. These feelings inside of me, sometimes I don't know where they come from. I may know, I may not know, but I'm curious to find out. In your clavicle. The times that I worry, times I'm scared, and I'm curious why. Because I'm sitting here in this moment and I am safe. So what stops me right now for feeling safe? If that's where you are, or what's stopping me from not having even more happiness and joy? I know that I have feelings, and I don't know where to go with them. Sometimes they go away of themselves, and sometimes they stay here all on their own. Hello, Marcella. Thanks for joining. So these thoughts, these feelings, they're inside of me. And as I connect, as I observe, I'm wondering, side of your eyes, how this can set me free. Taking a moment to just breathe, tapping under your eyes. If I could see the way clearly, that would give me absolute control. Would I take it? Would I really take it? Or is there a part of me that is even more scared? On your chin. What is it that is inside me that may not let me let go? What is it that I might be scared of that makes it so? Now remember over here on your chest, this is your chest which has your high and low heart. And your high heart is your thymus, and sitting above here, just above your heart, is the thymus gland, and that gland is all to do with what defines you and not you. This gives you the border, the boundaries of things. This knows who you are and who you're not. And it also, when we are in love, when we're in love, we dissolve. So we kind of say, wow, this person over here, I love them, so they're not foreign. Yeah. Which is probably why we quite enjoy kissing people at that time. And normally, if you saw somebody spit outside, you might not enjoy it. But somehow, when we're in love, we don't see that as separate. Isn't that interesting? So this allows us to see what is me and not me. This is the high heart. This is the part that is about our immune system. And this is our lower heart, which is more functional. This is the part that is the part of the heart that is the receiver and the giver. And this is the part that is the first organ. The first organ that is developed, in the embryo, the first organ. So we know how important this organ is because it connects us completely to everything. It connects us to every cell in our body, and it connects us to the external world. Yeah? So just taking a nice deep breath and just kind of for a moment, as you think about this, just thank your heart for being there right at the very beginning. Right at the very beginning, this heart was there for you. To really just get a sense of this heart, your heart. And also remember that this heart, the first vessel out of it is the coronary arteries that feed the heart so that the heart is always nourished. So before we can give, we need to receive. We need to receive for ourselves, by ourselves, to ourselves. Yeah? And the heart makes sure that we give to ourselves. Yeah? Very important. So make sure you resource. This is about resourcing, and then we give to others. So thank your heart, both your high and your lower heart, both of them that work together. And then just let that vibration begin to move around your body. That's it. Let it move around the body. Imagining it like a burst of a drum just beating through your body, beating through your body, sending little signals all the way through your body. All the way, all the way. So you might feel it going down into the ground and up into your head and all the way into the organs. Try and see if you can have a look at your liver, which will be on your right side. If you don't know the anatomy, it'll be more or less on your right side, just sort of under your rib on the right side, and be aware of your stomach on the left side. Being aware of your lungs. Yes, and certainly when you're tapping here, you can certainly feel the vibration in your lungs. So your lungs are getting all the kind of vibration. And guess what? What does coronavirus do? Ha, ha, ha. It works on the lungs. It causes a lung issue. So while we breathe and we tap away, we are clearing those lungs. Yes. That little vibration is like a percussion. Yeah, a little gentle percussion that clears, and you might find that you cough a little bit. Not that that's what I've done, but you might find it kind of clears some stuff. And that's good because it gives you an ability to clear and to get more oxygen. So just notice where the vibration is going as you do that. And then let it feel like you're giving your body a great big hug. As you go under your arms. You can use one hand if that's what you find it easier. If you can't do it, that's fine. Just allow yourself to do that. I like to do it because I get cross-modal information. So information goes from the left and the right side of the brain. Good. So on the top of the head. Now, what I'd like you to do is to go inside. And I want you to find that part of you that's a little either anxious or it's a happy feeling, but it's not quite a 10 or an 8, maybe a 6. And I want you to go there because if it's not a 6, there's something that's bothering you. So I want you to go to that. That's really important, is to learn to discern that if we're not quite on the full happiness scale, out of 10 or an 8 or 10, then there's something else going on. Okay? So go into those feelings, go to that space, that discomfort, and I want you to just send the vibration to it. And just like a mother that looks at a baby, or a person, even, you can imagine if you have an animal you love, just imagine that this is the animal you love, and it's hurting. Yeah, it's hurting. So have a look at it. Tapping your eyes, side of your eyes, look at it and go, oh, let me send it some love. Let me send it some love. Send the vibration. Surround it with soft, gentle vibrations. And just allow those vibrations to gently soothe and rock that feeling. So the feeling feels like it's cocooned If you're a woman, you may know about the embryo in the womb. Imagine like it's cocooned back in the womb, your womb. Otherwise in your arms, if that's another way of looking at it. And I want you to just gently, under your nose, tap, ask it, what is it? What is it? What's the matter? What is it? What are you feeling? And just listen. What are you feeling? Yeah. Don't try and fix. Often we can't fix things. It's not our job to fix things. It's our job to learn, to listen, because that's what we're not doing. When we're stressed, we move away from things. We move away from the feelings. That's what causes the problem. The separation, the lack, and then the attack. That's it. When we're so angry with that feeling, we attack it. No. Just kind of go, yeah, what do you want? What are you feeling? Oh no. Oh, I can see that. I can see that. Oh, yes, what is it that you want? And then I can see that you want that. Yeah, I can understand why you'd want that. Yeah, okay. Take a breath. Yeah. Just keep soothing it, loving it, giving it space, giving it more and more of the energy. That's it. Good, 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 good. Just giving the energy. And then just like any child, and even if you had an animal and it was scared, you would notice. You hold it for a little while and it gets a sense of peace and calm. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And what you'll notice is very soon it kind of softens up and it kind of says, oh, you know what? What's over there? And as you start to kind of give it a little bit more, it kind of gets curious and it may open up. And inside is the jewel. Inside is the gold. Inside is the blessedness of that beautiful part. So let the boundary slowly dissolve as you incorporate it into your being. Let it dissolve and become part of you. Let it come into your heart. So bring it into your heart. See it go into your heart. And see your heart slowly, gently, rhythmically serenade it. Let it know it's safe. Let it know it's here. And you're listening to it. You're giving it more energy. Oh yeah. Give it the energy. Give it the energy. Let it become superpowered energy. Side of the eyes. And then what I want you to do is to start beginning to let that energy get very strong, very strong. Remember, our mind now is down in our heart and we can increase the energy. So increase the energy more and more and more. Let that energy get very strong because we're going to shoot an supernova out. And we're going to feed it to everybody else in the world. Good. And we're going to do that in a moment. Okay, getting ready. Power up the energy in your heart. Power it up because now all of you are together. All of you are a powerful, powerful connector. At the very, very heart of you, you are as strong as a neutron bomb. So guess what? Guess what? We can blast any virus if we raise our vibration. Good. Right, let's go for it. Let's go for it. Really raise the vibration and ready, steady, start allowing sparks of energy to go out through your head, up, out through your head, up into the heavens and down into the earth, feeding the earth, giving the earth extra energy, our mother, all the way left and right on the diagonals, then out in front and out behind us. Let it go. And then what I want you to do is do a 360. So imagine it's like the whole of your body is starting to vibrate like the sun. And it's vibrating, and see it move right the way out of your body through into your aura. So the bioenergy area around your body, and push away all that doesn't belong to you outside so it can go back to where it is at its highest intention, at its highest being, to the best good of itself. Freeing your body of that and freeing your body of any limiting beliefs, any beliefs that don't belong to you, because there are lots. Our cultures give us lots of silly beliefs. And then what I want you to do is just really radiate like a pulse, like a pulse, like a pulse, going out into the earth, out into the world. Full 360, just all of you just pulsating from this internal source, which is eternal. And why is it eternal? Well, let me tell you, because while you're doing this, you're going to watch and see where you're sending it, because you're sending it to people you love, you care about, other people that you don't know, but you've connected to, maybe on Facebook, LinkedIn, or other social medias. You may even just automatically be linked in through the news. It doesn't matter. You're linking in anything that you feel compassion for, you're linking to, because we correlate with anyone we think about. We think, and an electron goes straight there. So how you're affecting you, you're affecting them. Isn't that brilliant? Isn't that brilliant? And guess what? Guess what? There are many people that are doing the same thing. And guess what? Hi, lady. Thank you for joining. Guess what? They are feeding back to you. So see the energy coming back to you. Let it come back. See it come back in the bucket loads. And as it does that, you get stronger. And as you get stronger, you feel even more resonance clearing out. More stuff at other deeper levels. Maybe not even coronavirus, other things. And you watch, there they go, as you feed the beautiful energy of the others, because you deserve it. Yes, you're connected. You're not separate from them. So just give yourself that moment to really enjoy it, really stack it up, stack it up, stack it up, stack it up, stack it up. Take a big breath in, breath out, and a big breath in. Breathing into the lowest part of your abdomen and breathing out. And just letting the energy vibrate through the whole of your body as we begin to come back down. Okay, I'm going to open your eyes. Thank you for joining. Thank you for coming on. Hi, Victor. Nice to see you. Good. Okay. Okay, well done. Well done, everybody. Thank you for coming on. All right, so the next thing is to just check in how you are, see how you're feeling in your body. Has that feeling shifted? Sometimes it goes up a little bit, and that's interesting. When it does, be curious. Were you able to kind of bring that energy back into your heart and able to expand it in a way that allowed your heart to be able to be that power source? If you were, brilliant. Pleasure, Carla. Pleasure. So yeah, notice what's going on for you right now. What I'm feeling is a lot of vibration in my sacral chakra. That's actually at the back, lower part of my back. I'm feeling it's really vibrating, and I can feel my feet. Obviously, there's something going on down there. So that's what I'm starting to feel. I can't really feel what was in my head anymore, so that's good news. I'm feeling some nice warm sun over here, which is great. Um, so that's where I've been. So what's it? A big shift. Thank you. Wonderful. Brilliant. So yeah, that's great. So if you had a big shift, how did it shift? What happened? Where did it go? Did it just dissolve? Did it change color? What happened? That'd be really good to find out, because part of growing, part of changing, part of transforming is to know the moments when they happen, because when we know what we're doing, we can do more. And I know, Carla, yesterday you said you knew what you needed to do for something in order to allow yourself to be in a good resource space. So it's useful to just keep using that beautiful cognitive part of our brain that allows us to do that. Now, my rating for me is 0. I don't have that feeling in my head anymore. What I'm just going to quickly do is another aura. I didn't show you the first aura, but I'm going to do another one quickly to see what is on. Oh gosh, it's doing sacred geometry. Let me do the aura. So I'm going to do another analysis just to quickly see. That was the first one. So actually it's green and a bit of purple and a bit of blue. I will put that online and pink on the top. So let's see, as we did the supernova, what came up. Wow, that's a little bit more interesting. So we did supernova. We did a lot of stuff about light. So that's interesting. So again, see, look what's come up there. So that's very interesting, and how that's been working, because I was saying increase the energy, increase this, imagine it's the sun. So that's interesting in how it's showing up there. So yeah, I'll put that on as well in the chat so that you can have a look. Take care and speak to you all soon. See you tomorrow. Okay, and if anything happens during the day that comes up for you, please put it in. Please like and share. Oh, let me see what Carla said. I recognize what it was that allowed it in, loved it lots and made it safe. Lots of radiating energy received and given through my trusty wormholes. Yes, because we know with the ultimate atomic atom is all about wormhole technology and black hole technology. And that's really important, because if you think about the wormhole, when you look at the wormhole, what happens is you think things are going in depending on where you are. But actually within that wormhole are many wormholes. And actually information is coming in, coming out, coming in, coming out, coming in, transmuting, coming out. And that's how we change things. So part of the ultimate atomic atom is recognizing that you have this, and it actually looks like a huge wormhole with like a heart, which is really interesting. I'll post a picture of it, and you'll start to see it. It's really quite interesting. And when you start visualizing it in that way, you start to really realize how we affect each other. So take care, speak soon, and thank you everyone for coming on. And like and share if you think it's going to be important, that someone that you think will benefit from it. Thank you.